They should do some sort of celebrity spouse swap with people like P. Diddy and Jimmy. So P. Diddy, who I think probably never wears the same pair of pants twice. He probably just wears pair of pants, throws them away.
Exactly.
People like Mariah Carey, they always do things like that with pants. Savile's pants discipline is very, very different. I think they should swap lives with it. Just see how it works out.
P. Diddy just rinsing them out in the sink of the Savoy or whatever.
Exactly. Going, I can't believe I'm doing this. Us as viewers at home, just pressing the red button frantically, loving it.
If you've got a hilarious celebrity pants story, then why not? No, 64046. Is it steve.sixmusic@bbc.co? Is it Stephen with a ph.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk if you want to get in touch for any reason during the course of the show. Okay, each week I like to, if I can, squeeze in some hip-hoppery. And I know, Harry, you've been a little frustrated that almost every hip-hop piece I've played has featured Q-Tip.
I'm not frustrated, Steve. I love the lyrical waxings of Q-Tip, but it just surprises me that every song we play seems to feature Q-Tip.
I didn't realise it's the Jungle Brothers. Featuring guest appearances from De La Soul and Queen Latifah. That's Tribe Called Quest. Oh, and a Tribe Called Quest I think I've featured on there as well. I can't remember. I think it's Tribe. It's Tribe, it's Latifah, it's Soul. They're all on there. Money Love.
All the lads.
Yeah, it's the Jungle Brothers from their 1989 album, done by the Forces of Nature, and it's doing our own dang. It's a Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me, Stephen Merchant. My guests in the studio here, Rufus, Super Posh.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, yeah, sure. And of course Harry, he works in a bank, but that doesn't mean he's not welcome on the radio. And these guys will be making recommendations, musical recommendations throughout the show. Harry, yours is the first one to be up and be played.
Absolutely. A track called X Hits the Spot by Michael Head and the Strands. Michael Head you probably know from the band Shaq, and also
No, I don't.
Really?
I've never heard of Heady or Shaq.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, Shaq are always held up as one of these sort of great lost bands, but they seem to be doing okay now, getting by. But Michael Head recorded an album which is called Michael Head and the Strands during a hiatus between Shaq and the Pale Fountains. It's a great sort of summery folky tune, although I think it is about taking horse.
It's not, is it?
Yeah, I think
What, the
so.
smack?
Yeah, but pretend it isn't and just enjoy it for what it is. X Hits the Spot.
X Hits the Spot by Michael Head and the Strands, Harry's choice this week. If it is indeed about smack, it seems rather understated. It's sort of, the idea of someone in a toilet cubicle somewhere jacking up and just saying, oh, that's hit the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, that's delicious.
That's good tea.
Yeah, that's lovely. We were talking about some of the wildest things that we've done this week, and of course Rufus and I on Friday night enjoyed a stag evening. It was interesting. I felt that I think it's the first one I've been on in my 30s, and I sort of feel it was quite subdued. It was the way that people were looking to go home by midnight.
It was a little tame.
We've had a few pints.
Yeah.
It was good fun, but it's let's get the last tune.
Quite a lot of stretching.
Yeah, exactly.
And, taking a sneaky look at the watch.
Exactly.
It is 11:45, so guys, if you don't mind.
Exactly. It's Saturday tomorrow. I've got to get up and do some creosoting.
Yeah.
But I remember that one we went on before, and I think you were there as well, which was ages ago. It was good fun, and we had a fun day. And then obviously, inevitably, we ended up trying to go to a strip club. And actually, I'd never been to a strip club before, and I find the whole strip club's a very bizarre experience. And I remember we walked in, and it was one in Soho, and I walked in the door, and the guy said, I said, when does the show start? And he said, show starts on the hour, and it was about 11:10 or something. And I said, rather pithily, I said, oh, it's 10 past. Will I be able to follow what's going on? Will I be able to pick it up if I arrive late? And he just looked at me, like, once again, like with bouncers, people, the guys running the doors at strip clubs, they're not looking for irony.
No.
And so I made this smart aleck remark, and he just looked at me and went, do you want to see the nudie ladies? And I went, yes, I do. We went £10. I went, thanks very much. And we went in, and do you remember it was quite a mild affair. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was quite a tame.
I remember
occasion.
it being quite high budget, actually. They were quite,
It
the
was,
production
wasn't it?
values were fairly high. There was, I'm sure we'll get to the names of the performers in a minute, but the props they had were, there was a woman in a tank.
It wasn't a tank. No, it was an anti-aircraft gun.
Oh, that's right.
It was a fake anti-aircraft gun which she straddled. I think her name was Passionara Fighter.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because a sort of voice would come on and announce to each girl, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Passionara Fighter. And they would come on, someone would wheel on an enormous prop. So there was one that was inside a kind of fake French lift elevator, which was quite exotic. And
Chantilly lace.
Chantilly lace.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vanity Fair.
Yeah, and my favourite one, I think, mainly because it was the best name, was a huge vault, and these things weren't made of kind of papier-mâché.
No, it was
kind
good
of
stuff.
Chicken wire. This was really, really well-made props, and it was an enormous bank vault with one of those big wheels you spin and spin and spin, and it was Gold Rush.
Exactly. And I remember there was one guy at the back, a girl, as she walked on the stage, a guy at the back went, get him off! And I thought, well, that's guaranteed.
you're
surely.
right there, mate.
But don't rush her, because otherwise she may as well just come on nude, and there's no fun in that. Is there? Surely
No,
the
no.
stripping is. But what happened is, after a while, they started to come back on under the guise of different names, but the same girls. And the problem is, once you've seen one nudie lady, you know, there's not much else. I was heckling, obviously. Put them on. But I remember at one point there was towards the end they did a little playlet with a guy who came on, and that was rather strange because he was fully nude, and it was called The Red Shoe Diaries. Now, The Red Shoe Diaries was a show that used to get shown on Channel 5. It was brought in from America, and it was a sort of series of short erotic films. And once again, you know you're not really enjoying it when there's girls dancing naked, and I'm just thinking, well, surely that's infringing copyright. That's absolutely outrageous. I didn't discover that. But yeah, I actually fell asleep during that. Really? I know. I mean, how unerotic must it have been?
I love the idea of you
dozed off.
shouting "put 'em on." It becomes some sort of 1920s kind of Dada surrealist strip show in which we
Exactly,
actually
yeah.
put clothes back on again because that just subverts the genre, you know.
Yeah. I find it a little weird when there's guys there with their girlfriends. I find that a little odd.
Yeah,
a little
very
unusual.
strange thing to do.
And quite a lot of foreign businessmen who
Yeah.
just out of town thought, I'll see some
Expenses, isn't it?
Exactly. Pop that on expenses. Boobs. 14 quid.
Yeah.
But it was not as erotic as I may think as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I went purely for research purposes. I think we all did. I kept
Yeah.
the receipt purely for that reason.
Yeah,
I showed
yeah.
the taxman. I insisted on claiming it back off tax
Yeah.
to show that I had done it as research and not for some sort of any other reason.
Well, we can because we just talked about it on the radio.
Yes.
So it is a legitimate
Perfect.
Tax expense. Next week, prostitutes.
And heroin.
We have to go to the news. After that, we've got stuff we've dug out of the pigeonhole. We've got listener suggestions and no doubt some other gobbledygook. Here's the news. Ian Jury and the Blockheads, of course, Reasons to be Cheerful, Part 3. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music with me, Stephen Merchant. In the studio, got Harry, a little round of applause for him in the Steve Wright style. Just very mild, just very, very mild and tentative. And super posh Rufus. No round of applause for him, but maybe a kind of hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray.
hooray.
Yeah, good, excellent.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for being here. We've heard one of Harry's musical choices. We're going to hear one of Rufus's a bit later on. But of course, it's not just about us playing music at you, it is about you, the listener, contributing songs to us as well. And who do we have on the line to recommend a tune, Harry?
Well, Steve, you can't believe your luck. We've got Dave from Newcastle.
It's not Dave from Newcastle, is it? I can't believe it. Dave, are you there?
Yeah, hello, I'm here.
All right, mate. And are you actually from Newcastle?
No, I'm a student living up here at the moment.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23. So, what happened? Did you take a couple of years out?
Yeah, I've had a couple of years out, yeah. Just, I'm scared of finishing, to be honest. I'm enjoying the student life too
Of
much.
course you are. Of course you are. And what are you doing as we speak?
Right now, I'm just sitting in front of my computer, doing some work, enjoying a big bag of Twiglets.
Oh, there are, of course, other strangely flavoured savoury snacks available, but you happen to be choosing Twiglets, and that's fair enough. You could have had some Pringles, but you've chosen Twiglets. Never been a Twiglet fan myself. That's the end of that Twiglet conversation. I got nowhere else to go with it. What are you studying?
I study computer science.
Christ.
Yeah, I am. I don't often go into my department, to be honest. I find it quite depressing.
Really?
Yeah, the rest of my course mates are less exciting than me.
Were you going to slag them off then? Were you basically going to call them all nerds?
No, but I'm currently working on a crab simulation, which is quite interesting.
On a crab simulation? What does that
Yeah.
involve? Is crab
Just
something...
quite literally making a computer pretend to be a crab.
That's amazing.
Making a computer pretend to be a crab?
Do you just dress it up with lots of stuff, make it look stupid?
No, well, one day I hope for it to walk sideways, but at the moment, just part of its brain.
I don't know what you're talking about. How can a computer walk sideways? Have you made it legs?
I might do one day. That'll be, I think that's the main aim.
Oh yeah, I love the fact he laughs at me like that was a stupid suggestion. Well, you're the guy making a computer into a crab, mate.
My brain hurts.
I don't understand how... Well, maybe we'll never understand. That's why we're on the radio, guys, and not a couple of boffins sat in front of a computer eating Twiglets. And what do you hope to do once you've finished your studies?
I'm hoping to do a PhD next year.
Oh, you really want to avoid real life,
I
don't
really
you?
don't want to finish.
Are you living in shared accommodation, or are you kind of rich and you can afford your own place?
No, I share a room with my wife.
Oh, with your
and
what?
I've got a couple of housemates as well.
With your wife? Is this someone that you married sort of precociously young? Were you betrothed to each other sort of age 13, like Romeo and Juliet?
No, nothing as romantic as that. I met her during one of my many years out, and yeah, one thing led to another.
Is it a bit intense though, living together in just one little room? I imagine you've got the crab computer doing weird things in the corner. What does she? Is she a student as well?
No, she's well, she's just being pregnant at the moment.
Wow. Is it yours?
Yeah.
But, well, you don't know. You can't be certain. I mean, you got a couple of roommates. You know, after a drunken night during Freshers' Week, who knows what could have happened? But I'm just saying, check. You don't want to, because once you've made your fortune as the new Bill Gates, you don't want some kind of bastard child inheriting your cash. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going there. I don't know why. I just thought we should try and be irreverent because it's Six Music, and I've ended up just insinuating that you're not the father of the child, which of course is nonsense. So I take all of that back. I do severely apologise. The crab thing
Now
just
you've
freaked
mentioned
me.
it, I will get a test done when it comes.
I just think if I've helped one man, then I've helped. I don't know why it is. I'm just very, very cynical nowadays. It's, I've heard about the 1 in 3 marriages ending in divorce. Sorry, again, I'm bringing you down. You're having a lovely afternoon, and I just feel like I'm a very cynical and depressed man. I don't know what it is. Sorry about that, mate. I don't know where I was going there. But listen, let's make friends again. And maybe you could tell me which tune you're gonna recommend.
Today I've recommended it's called Particle Man. It's by They Might Be Giants.
Okay. That makes sense. Of course, particles I kind of associate with computers. I don't know. I'm sure there's a particle involved somewhere.
You can't get Dave back on side, Steve. It's all too late.
Dave, I really am sorry about that. Oh God, listen to him. He's gone silent. He's laughing, but it's through kind of gritted teeth.
Hates you.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, Particle Man. Now, They Might Be Giants is one of those bands that's kind of championed by the likes of Jonathan Ross and so on. I'm not really familiar with them. I know are they a slight novelty band?
They are. I mean, they're just really strange. I mean, the lyrics just never seem to make sense. I think maybe if you're on some Mong Balls or something,
Some Mong Balls, of course.
they might sort of have some sort of meaning, but it doesn't really matter. The songs just are fun and upbeat and great to listen to, I think.
I noticed in your email you refer to it as geek rock.
Yeah, geek rock. I found that out the other day actually, and I thought it was quite suitable for the show.
I mean, I'm going to take that on the chin because I've insulted you. But yeah, I think it's a bit rich coming from a guy who's trying to design a computer crab to call me a geek. But there we are. But okay, let's have a listen to Particle Man, and then we'll come back and I'll try and apologise more. They Might Be Giants, Particle Man, the recommendation of Dave, who is in Newcastle and he works with computers. Dave, thank you very much indeed for contributing to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
It's been great talking to you. I do apologise earlier on. I don't know what I was thinking, but I do wish you all the very best.
Honour and a privilege.
Oh, good. Thank you very much, and likewise. And I obviously send you all my best wishes. And I don't know how long the child is going to take to come out, but when it does, if it's a boy, think about Steve as a name, or Stephen.
I will do. Definitely put it on the back burner. That one.
Well, that's basically saying you're not even going to give it a moment's consideration, and I think you'll find that actually it's maybe not a popular name, but it's a healthy name.
Okay.
All right, okay, fine. I can tell from your silence that you hate it. You're probably thinking of something really trendy like Henry or Matt.
We haven't got a clue. It's so difficult.
Can I make a suggestion to you right now?
Go on then.
To suggest inclusivity, Abdul.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, maybe. I think I'll ask my wife. I'll get back to you, Stephen.
All right. Well, listen. Let us know how you get on and what the test results are, and we hope to speak to you again in the future.
Thanks very
I
much.
mean your test results when you finish your exam. I don't mean the DNA test results. Sorry. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to speak to you anymore, Dave, because I keep getting in trouble. All right, man. Cheers. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
I think that went quite well.
That went all right, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. That went well. Imagine if that had been sort of Family Fortunes, the number of retakes we'd have to have done. But no, Dave was a great guy, and I appreciate him. Well, let's put him in the list of people we've enjoyed and we might have on in the future when we've realised we've finally got through every listener. We've had 20 calls. We've got to go back to the beginning again. Each week, of course, I like to dig deep inside my hole and produce something interesting and new. And I've been in the pigeonhole this week. I've dug out 3 tunes, which I have to say, I guess are slightly similar in that they're sort of blokes with guitars. But they are forthcoming releases, and I thought we could cast our ears over them. The first track up is The Pigeon Detectives, and it's a tune called I'm Not Sorry. It's a Steve Show, BBC Six Music, and we're sifting through tunes that I've dug out of my pigeonhole, and appropriately enough, that's The Pigeon Detectives, and a track which is available to download from May 14th. It's called I'm Not Sorry. Harry, are you sorry that you heard that record?
I'm not sorry, Steve, but I'm going to pursue the pigeon theme a little. Okay. I'm going to rank that song in pigeon terms. It's not one of those horrible scrabbly ones with only one leg and half a beak missing. It's better than that, but it's not your glamorous wood pigeon. Okay. Or anything like that. I would rank that song as a Trafalgar Square pigeon, in the sense that I'd go along, I'd look at it, I'd quite enjoy it for about 10 minutes, and then I'd walk off and do something else and forget all about it.
Oh, okay. So in a sense, it's a mixed review. It's a
Yeah,
mixed
I
bag.
enjoyed it, but washed over me.
Sure. Rufus, you're super posh. What do you make of that?
I'm gutted that Harry nicked all the pigeon gags. I had 3 or 4 sketched down here. Saying, I hope that the album cover has them in trench coats and trilbies with little. Sounded like a kind of Strokes track that I would enjoy, but kind of get bored of after 1 or 2 listens. I wouldn't seek that out to listen to it again. But it had me doing my air drumming, and not many songs get me doing that, so I enjoyed that.
There seems to be a lot of music around at the moment, which if you'd never heard music ever before, you'd think, oh, that's good, and that's interesting, and that's really great. But if you've ever heard any other kind of indie rock song, they're sort of chirpy enough, but they slightly wash over you. See what you think of this next one. It's by Mumra. I believe I pronounced that right. I did hear them doing a great cover version once